heard of narcissists, you've heard of psychopaths, but there's a new kind of dangerous personality making the rounds in psychology circles, and it's far more subtle. They read emotions like an empath, but twist those feelings into weapons. They blend in, they charm, they destroy. These people are called Dark Empaths, and psychologists now believe they might be the most dangerous of all. Why? Because unlike narcissists or sociopaths, a dark empath can feel what you feel and still choose to hurt you anyway. Welcome to the mind of the manipulator who cares just enough to crush you properly. Are dark empaths the most dangerous personality type? This video dives deep into the chilling psychology of those who weaponize empathy. These aren't your average manipulators. They're strategic, emotionally intelligent, and masters at forging fake connections to gain power and control. You'll learn how to recognize their tactics, understand how they twist compassion into a tool of dominance, and uncover why their charm makes them some of the most dangerous predators hiding in plain sight. Don't just watch, pay attention. This is how you protect yourself. What is a dark empath? Empathy is supposed to be a superpower for kindness. It allows us to feel what others feel, to connect, comfort, understand. But what happens when someone uses that power for manipulation? A dark empath is someone who has empathy, but it's paired with dark traits like narcissism, Machiavellianism, and even sadism. They know exactly how you feel, and they will use that knowledge to control you, guilt trip you, or break you while smiling through it. Unlike the classic narcissist who bulldozes emotions, the dark empath studies yours. They nod, they mirror, they seem supportive. But behind that facade is cold calculation. They don't lack empathy, they weaponize it. A dark empath doesn't storm in, they slip in. First comes the charm. They're magnetic, funny, effortlessly likable. They know how to match your energy, reflect your humor, and even echo the scars you never told anyone about. Then comes the emotional echo. They make you feel seen, understood, like someone finally gets you. They repeat your words, mirror your gestures, sync with your rhythm until you start to trust them. But once you're hooked, when things begin to shift. Subtly. They don't lash out, they guilt trip. They don't explode, they play the victim. They whisper doubts that burrow into your mind, and when you finally push back, they cry or twist the narrative. Suddenly you feel like the problem. They control through compassion, turning your own empathy into a leash. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're already tangled in a web spun from your own emotions. Dark empaths are dangerous because they understand human emotion deeply, but don't follow moral guidelines. They know where it hurts, and they know exactly when to press. Even worse, many of them don't believe they're doing anything wrong. They'll tell themselves they're teaching a lesson or that they're protecting themselves. Their ability to rationalize cruelty makes them incredibly hard to spot, and even harder to leave. This isn't just personal relationships either. Dark empaths can rise in workplaces, in politics, in leadership. They manipulate teams, build cults of personality, and shift blame without leaving fingerprints. They're not chaotic like narcissists. They're strategic. So how do you know if someone in your life might be a dark empath? The signs are there, but they're cloaked in charm. They always seem nice, even thoughtful, but something in your gut feels off. Your instincts whisper what your logic won't admit. They use your secrets, not with cruelty, but with precision, bringing up your most vulnerable confessions at just the right moment to twist the knife gently. They shift roles with ease. One moment, the caring helper, the next, the wounded victim, and somehow, you become the villain. They never lose emotional control because they always have it. You're constantly on edge around them, yet you can't pinpoint why. And they isolate you without ever needing to say the words. Just a lingering guilt when you make plans or spend time with anyone else. These people don't destroy with violence. They rot you from the inside out through slow, deliberate emotional decay. To protect yourself from a dark empath, the first step is simple but powerful. Recognize the pattern. Once you see it, they can't manipulate you in the same way. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, even if everything looks right, listen to that feeling. Your intuition often picks up on what your mind hasn't processed yet. Set clear emotional boundaries. You don't need to justify them, defend them, or explain yourself. Boundaries are for your protection, not their approval. Keep a record of your interactions, notes, texts, even journal entries. When you document what's happening, you start to see the manipulation patterns more clearly, and it becomes harder to gaslight you. Avoid playing their emotional games. Dark empaths thrive on confusion and subtle control. Stay grounded in reality. Don't match their drama with more emotion. Keep calm, keep focused. And if you're able to, cut ties, fully. These aren't people you can heal, help, or fix. In many cases, they know exactly what they're doing. Your healing doesn't start with understanding them. It starts the moment they no longer have access to your mind. Dark empaths aren't just emotionally intelligent. They're emotionally weaponized. If you suspect someone like this is in your life, the first step is awareness, then distance. But here's the thing, these personalities are complex, and there's so much more to understand. Check the description below. We've added resources, books, and tools to help you recognize these traits, protect your mind, and rebuild your emotional defenses. These people aren't hiding behind masks. They're hiding inside reflections. So ask yourself, who's really looking back at you? This is dark honey. We just gave you the truth most people are too afraid to touch.